sorry, that's the picture there. But in Wajir, somebody tried to get up on the stage and say hello to the president. Kumsalimia yani, for real. And then he was stopped. But he'd already gotten on to the podium.
Yeah. Somebody
threw a bottle of water at the president in Kibra. Anything, could have been in that water bottle. True. These are the things that we're looking at. And then in Ganze, this guy just, decided that he was going to, be Sir Hug-a-lot and hug the president. These things happen really quickly. But from my understanding that, Dennis, when we used to hear about how these guys are trained, how these things should happen. I remember Okari telling us every now and then how, these guys, they know on the second. They're on their feet on the second. By the time somebody leaves where they are standing, crosses the thing, gets up onto the podium, stands up, the president acknowledges him, he goes, puts his arm around him. Where were you?
Yeah.
Because the people who took him off the podium were plain clothes.
True.
But where were you?
Where are they?
Or were you also... Because for us who are watching on TV, right, you're actually watching these things happening and you're in it's almost like you're in a trance and you're seeing it happen. But the people who are supposed to be watching the every move, where were you? Anything could have happened. And it's true. What if this gentleman was not innocent in his intent?
True.
He had a weapon or... anything could have happened.
How do you start to explain about the lapses in protecting the president?
Exactly. How? Because, like I said, sometimes you can take politics and scrunch it up and toss it out the window.
This is not about politics.
This is not about
just
that.
Protecting the head of state.
The head of state is to be protected.
Yeah.
Where were you? By the way, in other jurisdictions, there is no and see how far, what happened? Nope. Oh, please, did you? Nope. Come and be going. There's no question like, oh, did you follow pro? Who was up?
It actually paints a very sad and bad picture. Why do I say that? Because the president, most of the time when he's speaking, he does not speak from
inside
where he was seated.
Yes,
it's a distance most of the time in the middle, and you can imagine this person left where they were seated and ran enough meters to get to the president, and the reason why the president is usually put there is so that everybody
away
is
from
able,
people.
So that even security officers are able to cordon that area. So anyway, you could not do this with former President Moi, Kibaki.
They would have flattened you.
Kitambo sana. But
I don't know.
But then again, question someone asked me, is the president so available to Wananchi?
I don't know if it's a thing of availability that he wants to be close to the people, thereby perhaps compromising his own safety. Or that maybe, or did you forget that, hey guys, anything can happen?
Because, it's also very difficult you have to look at this thing in very many ways, because every day the president as well is out here meeting Kenyans. He's gone to this project. Are those guys choreographed and told what to do when the president is there? Could be. But when it's just a rally, the president is on top of his vehicle and is just saying hi to everybody. At that point, is that a security breach?
Yeah. I think to be honest, for the most part, the protection of the president is where it should be. But that's the thing, that where you say oops happened when it's not in the most time. Am I making sense?
Yes, that's the
it's
thing.
in the one time that you were not paying attention that something goes wrong. It is not the everyday ensuring of protection. It's when there is a lapse that something goes wrong.
Yes.
So the assumption is that there should not be a lapse, and that is a high threshold of responsibility that it's placed on but that's why you have your job, dude. So that's what I'm saying.
I have a question, Ndu, that one would ask, right, is how do these individuals advise the president in terms of his security, places you can do, what you can do, and what you can't do? Because president security, I don't think it's his matter. That is the matter of the country, the state, to make sure he's safe. Because one would see that if you read about the American situation, sorry to bring that in, but these guys determine who the president greets, where the president goes, and what he does. Is it the case here.
I can see you guys who are saying that this was all choreographed and that this is a psyop.
But whichever the case.
Whatever the case may be, we must talk about the fact that it must happen. That's why Museveni, in a meeting, Museveni sits in Nairobi, the rest of you are in Nakuru. Yeah, that's why. Because I don't even want to
Even if you're a journalist, a kilometer away,
you want to ask a question, use a megaphone.
Yes. Use a megaphone. And please have a mask on.
Over there. But that's the case. Kenya among high-risk countries for Ebola spread and warns CDC Africa to get its act together. Mystery after a woman goes missing on her morning walk. Her name is Regina Wamoyo. We'll call their names. This was a month ago. If you were to be humorous, you would say that's a long morning walk. But this, even for a morning walk, is too long. April 30th is when she went on this walk. And since then, her whereabouts have gone unknown. Her name is Regina Wamoyo. Okay? She's been missing. Clinic to boost fight against gender violence. The clinic that has been opened by Nandi County Secretary Francis Sang, receiving the keys to a GBV clinic during handover ceremony at Nandi Hospital last week. Court orders release of body held over bill. That might be something that's done. We'll probably see that with more regularity. Ruto security on the spot after man walks onto stage during Coast Rally. And again, I see the thoughts about this being stage managed. Gideon Moy says, prioritize service to the people, shun divisive politics. Cabinet secretaries, top officials plot political comeback in 2027. If they're going to plot political comeback, it's possible that we will see the resignation of a number of cabinet secretaries, because we know that the threshold of time is coming to a head there. I think it's it's 6 months to the official campaign season. Oh, by the way, IEBC has not declared the open season.
Yes.
Just in case you were wondering. So a lot of the things that are going on are quote unquote illegalities. But when they do, cabinet secretaries have 6 months to then, if they're going to ask for positions, they must resign.
Tell me about the technocrats that we have in our cabinets.
What would you want me to tell you about them?
That headline says a lot.
Yeah, well,
it actually does say a lot. These are guys who are just there for some good vibes, and inshallah, when the time comes, we'll go back to what it is we know how to do.
This is true. Did you know that there's been a 7-year dusk to dawn curfew in Lamu and Tana River? 7-year dusk to dawn curfew, Lamu, Tana River. Well, the court has lifted it. I don't know that folks have been adhering to the tenets of this dusk to dawn curfew.
Tana River.
In the last 7 years, I've been in Lamu.
Where exactly in Tana River?
After dusk.
Is it some parts
of this
county?
Maybe some parts. It is. It's some parts. All right.
Yeah, because I remember there's a time I was in Tana River and
No, it was past dusk. Okay.
Acha tuniseme. Maybe it's some parts of Tana River and Lamu, not all, not blanket emergency across the county.
Of course it is. Yes. Of course, there's some parts that you will not be able to drive if you're driving from Mombasa to Lamu, for example, that you had to do that before 3 o'clock, because after that you would not be able to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let's go to Daily Nation. Ruto allies hype vote rigging plots. Leaders allied to President William Ruto are boldly touting vote rigging as a strategy to force his re-election, with Kakamega Deputy Governor Ayub Savula and Hamisi MP Charles Gemose, the latest to join a growing chorus to ensure the incumbent retains power at all cost. The utterances of infuriated opposition leaders who claim the government is setting the stage for a rigging vote. So there we have the images of Hamisi MP Charles Gemose, as well as Kakamega Deputy Governor Ayub Savula and Wajir woman Representative Fatuma Abdi Jehu. You remember that statement that she made? Yes. Then we have Kapseret MP Oscar Sudi, isipoja tutajaza. Then Tiati MP William Kamtetu said, I come from Baringo, where we are known for